Welcome back to Dash Explore. I'm Sarah, and today I'm here to share our must-haves when going on a family road trip. So we are heading out on a family road trip. We have done the airplanes in Europe, and now it is time for us to load up the car and hit the road together as a family. So Andrew's sister and her family live in Jacksonville, Florida, and we are going down to celebrate our niece's first birthday. We had looked into flights for this trip, but unfortunately at the time that we were looking into it, the prices were just astronomical. So we are loading up and hitting the road. And I figured what better time to share our road trip must-haves than when we ourselves are about to head out on a road trip. So today I'm going to share with you the things that we always make sure we have in the car when we're going on a road trip, whether we're driving an hour or 9 hours like we're about to do this week. And hopefully this will help you as you set out on your next family road trip. Okay, tip number one is snacks. There is nothing worse on a road trip or life in general than someone who's hungry, especially a small child who is hungry. So something that we never leave home without is a big bag of snacks. So I usually go through our mudroom at home, which is where we keep all of our snacks, and I try to make sure that I have a big variety, so whatever anybody wants, we have. Now, not only is it important to make sure that you have snacks for your kids, but it's also important to make sure that you have snacks for the adults in the car too. You never know when you are going to hit a big patch of road where there's no place to stop and people are hungry. You want to be able to have something that you can just hand out quickly. You also never know about traffic. You don't know when you're going to hit construction or an accident or something that could slow you down for hours at a time. And also maybe or maybe not, speaking from personal experience, you never know when you're going to be in Iceland and potentially stuck in a blizzard and horrible traffic and might need snacks to sustain you for a long period of time. So I don't know, that might not be a problem for you, but it may or may not have been something we've experienced in the past. So we never leave home without a big bag of snacks for a road trip. And then I have a couple of tips for when it comes to snacks. First of all, again, like I said, bring a variety. You want to have, some sweet stuff, some fruit or vegetables, something that's like on the healthier side. I also like to bring like the Chomps meat sticks. So something that has a little protein that will keep me fuller for longer, salty snacks, just a large variety so that whatever anybody wants you have in the bag. My next mini tip is to bring snack cups for your kids. So whether you have individually packaged snacks or you have a giant bag of popcorn or whatever, I love to bring snack cups in the car. It helps cut down on the mess a little bit, but it also is an easy way to kill time in the car. You can take the individual bag and just dump half or a third or just, a couple crackers at a time into the cup, and then your child has to ask you for more, so then you have to fill it up. And it's just kind of an easy way to drag that snack out over a little bit longer of a time. And then my last little mini tip when it comes to snacks is to try and get something new. I like to go to the store and get things that we don't normally have at home, like fruit snacks or even like cookies or things that are special treats, because road trips usually mean a vacation or something fun. So I try to get a little bit more variety and things that we don't normally have all the time so that it is new and exciting for the kids to keep them engaged while we're in the car. It's also important to make sure you pack smart when you're packing your car. So I like to keep my snacks right behind the driver's seat so that if anybody needs something, I can quickly grab it and we don't have to pull over and stop to get something out of the trunk. Same thing with our diaper bag. I make sure that that is somewhere easily accessible, so when we do stop to change diapers, we're not digging through all of the stuff in the trunk to be able to get it out. So you don't have to be perfectly packed when you're leaving for a road trip, but it is important to think about the things that you are definitely going to need on the trip and trying to put those in places that are going to be easily accessible while you're driving. My next tip is entertainment. It can be so tough to keep kids busy and distracted while you're on a long road trip, especially if it's longer than 2, 3, 4 hours. And something that I really love to do when we go on trips is to go through their playroom and collect a big bag of toys. Now, this one is smaller than I normally bring, but sometimes I'll pack like 2 or 3 of these smaller ones so that we can kind of rotate them in throughout the trip. But in these bags, I just have a bunch of random crap, for lack of a better word. I go through and just find any kind of like fidgety toy that they can use to entertain themselves. So I love to get these popper toys. I know that they can, especially this one, it's a bracelet. They can take it on and off. They can pop it. Just anything that they can do to like fidget with their hands. We have this, which can be kind of annoying, but if they play with it for 5 minutes and they're entertained, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But anyways, I just pack up these little bags, and especially too, it can also be really great if you are big into toy rotations in your house, to go through toys that they haven't seen in a while and pack those up and throw them in the bag so that they're excited about something new. This is also a time similar to snacks where I go and get something that they don't normally eat at home, where I will go to the store like Target, Dollar Spot, or the Dollar Tree, and just get a couple of new, like, again, the poppers or fidget toys, things that they haven't seen before, but that will keep them entertained for a while we're on the road. Another thing that I really love for road trips, especially for kids like younger than 2, are these indestructible books. If you haven't seen them before, they are supposedly indestructible, and the kids can pull on them, suck on them. They I think can also be thrown in the washer, but they are soft and they're very easy to pack. Like, they're very thin. I think we have probably like 5 or 6 of them at this point, so they don't take up a ton of space, but they are books that the kids can flip through and just kind of keep them entertained for a while. Haley used to love these when she was little, and honestly, just packing like 6 of these would get us through a good like 3 hours of a road trip. I also will throw in like little loveys or little soft toys that they can play with and entertain themselves with, but by having a bag that's just full of things that, you know, once they start to get fussy, that you can just quickly grab something and hand it to them, it just really helps kind of keep them entertained and busy while you're on the road. But also something important to keep in mind is that you are in charge of your child, you know them best, and you know things that will entertain them the best. So, you know, go through, pick out things that you know they love to play with. So again, tip number 2 is, you know, go make sure you have a bunch of stuff to keep them entertained, especially if you're going to be in the car for a really long time. Like, we're about to be in the car for 9 hours. I still can't believe it. But by having a variety of things that you can just quickly hand them to keep them busy, keep them entertained, it will make the road trip go so much smoother. Okay, so we just talked about entertainment and keeping your babies and smaller kids busy. And if you are fortunate to be someone who has a kid that does not get car sick and they can play on a tablet and watch shows during a road trip, then you are set, you are golden, and you are so lucky. But this is a like bonus tip 2.5 for those of you that have children that get car sick like we do, and that is the Tonybox. So this is not sponsored by Tonybox at all. This is something that I'd seen on social media. It's all the influencers out there with their kids with their Tonyboxes, and I thought that was pretty cool, something that would keep Haley entertained while she was playing at home. And so she ended up getting one for Christmas, and this is something that we will not leave home without for a road trip longer than an hour from here on out into the future. So if you're not familiar with Tonybox, the Tonybox is it's like a speaker. So it's a soft-sided, it's very squishy. It has a speaker on the front, and on the top it has 2 little ear buttons, and then this square right here is magnetic. So you have to buy Tonys, which I keep in this little pouch, but they are little characters. We have a large variety. So you get your character, and this square on the top is magnetic, and the characters just stick to the top. So the magnet is pretty strong, but it's been known to fall off from time to time in the car, but the character sits on top, and then once it is turned on, you just put your character on top and it starts playing the content. So each character has anywhere from like 30 minutes to up to 2 hours for some of them of content preloaded on each one. This is something, FYI, that you need to set up ahead of time, so don't just like take it out of the box and take it in the car. You will be in trouble. And the content on each Tony is some of them just sing songs. So we have a Cocomelon one that just sings a bunch of Cocomelon songs. The Peppa Pig one just tells Peppa stories. Some of the Disney ones sing songs and tell stories. So you can see all the content before you buy them. But once you are lucky enough to get a large variety of them, this is something that can get you through a lot of the road trip. The best part of this is that it is screen free. So if it's something that you want to use at home, it can be just kind of background noise while they're doing crafts or playing independently, or in the car. They don't have to look at anything, so they're not going to get car sick, and they can just kind of listen but still be entertained and keep their brains busy. And then again, the best part of this, since we are talking about road trip with the Tonybox, is that it has a headphone jack. So Haley puts her headphones on, puts her Tony on, and we can listen to whatever we want as adults. And it's such a great option. I had never even thought about it for a road trip. There are a lot of other audio players out there. Again, we are not sponsored by Tony, so look into what's best for you and your family. And like, this does get pretty pricey to buy the box and all of the individual characters. Each one is like $18. They do run sales, but what I have found is that these make great presents. So if grandparents or friends are looking for a birthday gift or gift for any holiday, it's really easy to say, oh, we don't have this Tony, and $18 isn't a huge investment for someone to get as a gift. So it has been a really easy like add-on present for family, and that's kind of how she has like accumulated so many of them. So again, I highly recommend the Tonybox if you have a child that gets car sick. It has been a huge game changer for long trips, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how she likes this as we're in the car for 9 hours. So those are the 6.5 things we will not leave home without. We always have to have salty snacks, sweet snacks, healthy snacks, some kind of protein snack, snack cups, entertainment, of course. And now that we know the Tony box, our half bonus tip is the Tony box. We will never leave home without it. So if you have other things that you guys always bring on your road trips, or maybe things we haven't even thought of yet, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's video, or if you learned something, if you could give this video a like, we would really appreciate it. And if you are enjoying our content and you want to follow along on this road trip that we are about to embark on, please subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when we post new videos. And you can also head over to Instagram and follow us at Dash Explorer. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and we'll catch you on the road trip.